Good afternoon po. I'm Mark Anthony and I will be discussing the problem set B number 42. So the question is, if the pattern illustrated next is continued, we have the squares. A. Find the total number of 1 by 1 squares in the 13th figure. B. Find the perimeter of the 25th figure. And C. The total number of toothpick used to construct the 20th figure. So first, by following the Polya's problem solving or steps, we have step 1, understand the problem. So by understanding, we can easily know what is being asked and ideas on how to solve them. So first, there are 3 questions. Of course, obviously. And second, 1 by 1 squares are increasing with the pattern. And we must predict the number of 1 by 1 squares in the 30th or 13th figure. And 3, perimeter is the continuous line forming the boundary of a closed geometric figure. So of course we must search for a term because they are looking for the perimeter. We must know what perimeter is. And lastly, toothpicks made up the figures. And 1 by 1 squares need exactly 4 toothpicks. So a toothpick is only have length of 1. Okay, step 2, devise a plan. So because we have three questions, we must have 3 plans. So for question A, we must look for a pattern. And for question B, we can use draw a picture and use a variable. And C, we can use for look a pattern and use a variable. So kung mapapansin nyo, more than one strategy ang gagamitin natin. Kasi okay lang yan kasi hindi naman kayang draw a picture lang sa ating question B kasi 20 yung pang 25th figure na, so hindi natin madodrawing yung 25th, so kailangan din nating mag-use ng variable. Okay, sa A, by counting and looking at this figure, we can know that the first 4 figure have square of 1. So sa figure 1, sa figure 2 may 4, figure 3 9 ang squares, and sa figure 4 is 16. So makikita na agad natin yung pattern. So the pattern is they are a square numbers. So by following this pattern, you can know that the 13th figure is 169 because 13 squared is 169. Kadali lang, 'di ba? All right. So sa question B, what is the difference in perimeter of this figure? So, before we must answer yung 25th figure, yung perimeter ng 25th figure, look at this figure first. So, makikita natin yung 2 by 2 perfect square dyan. Tapos, itong parang pa-L na figure. So, by counting their perimeter, you can see that this figure 8 have a perimeter of 8 and the 2 by 2 square figure also have perimeter of 8. So we can see that as long as the base and height are the same, even if the quadrilateral is chunk, it will still have the same perimeter. But sir, mapapansin nyo, hindi naman quadrilateral to because this polygon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So it can be quadrilateral kung lalagyan mo siya ng maliit na square doon. So, originally na square siya pero nagkaroon lang siya ng chunk or quadrilateral siya. So, sa ganong figure, kahit naman nabawasan siya, ang perimeter nila ay same pa din. So, by following this logic, we can see that this figure, the second figure, have base 3 and height 3, have the same perimeter as a rectangle that have length of 3 and width of 2. So same lang. Okay. So makikita natin dito yung base ng first figure is 1, ang second figure is 3, and third figure is 6, and fourth figure is 7. And yung height ng figure 1 is 1, figure 2 is 2, figure 3 is 3. So makikita na agad natin yung pattern. So ang pattern ng height is mag-i-equal lang siya sa number of figure. So, sa figure 5, ang height niya is 5. And ang base niya is 9. So, paano naman natin makukuha yung base? So, yung pattern ng base is 2n minus 1, where the n is the figure number. So, solve na natin yung hinahanap na 25th figure. So, n is 25. So, to find the perimeter, we must double the length and width. So, 2 times 25, which is the height, plus 2 times 49, which is the base. So, the perimeter of the 25th figure is 148. Okay, sa number 3 naman po, how many toothpicks are there? So, we must first look at the pattern. So, we must first count the number of toothpicks in this 4 figure. So, sa figure 1, meron tayong 4 toothpicks. Sa figure 2, meron tayong 13 toothpicks. Sa figure 3, meron tayong 26 toothpicks. And sa figure 4, is meron tayong 43 toothpicks. To find the pattern, so hindi siya masyadong obvious, so we must first find the difference of a consecutive number. So, yan. So, 13 minus 4 is 9. 26 minus 13 is 13. 43 minus 26 is 17. And 64 minus 43 is 21. So, hindi pa rin sila magkakaparehas. Wala pa ding pattern. Okay. So, hanapin mo ulit yung difference nila. So, 13 minus 9 is 4. And 17 minus 13 is 4. And 21 minus 17 is 4. So, nag-equal na sila. Therefore, the pattern or yung solution ng pattern natin ay merong degree of 2. Kasi dalawang beses natin siyang minus bago sila mag-equal. So, we must use 3 equation and 3 unknowns. So, here na makikita natin yung 2 squared. So, yun yung degree of 2 niya. 2 squared plus b ay 2 squared a plus 2b plus c is equal to 13. So, ito siya. Yung f of 2 or the second figure have 13 toothpicks. And f of 3 have 26 toothpicks. Ayan. And f of 4 or yung fourth figure have 43 toothpicks. So, ayan. By using your calculator na lang po, so hindi na tayo mamano-mano. Matagal po yan. So, by using 3 equation and 3 unknowns, we know that A is equal to 2, and B is equal to 3, and C is equal to negative 1. Therefore, the equation is 2n squared plus 3n minus 1. And it is equal to the toothpicks, so where n is the term number. Hence, the number of toothpicks in the 20th figure is 2 times 20 squared plus 3 times 20 minus 1. And it is equal to 859. So, step 4, look back. We have learned that, so nasagutan na natin lahat. So, we have learned that odd numbers have a pattern of 2n minus 1 sa ating question 2. And quadrilateral figures have the same perimeter with other figures that have the same base and height. Ayan. And third, if there exists a pattern, difference will be equal if you subtract consecutive numbers enough times. So, yun nga, minus natin siya 2 beses bago siya nag-equal. So, mag-equal siya kung may pattern yon. 3 times natin i-minus, 4 times. So, as long as mag-equal siya in the end, may pattern tayong mahanap. And we have come up with a general formula, 2n squared plus 3n minus 1 to find out how many toothpicks or line with a length of 1 are needed to form the figure. So, yan yung general formula natin. Kung hahanapin natin yung number of toothpicks. Now, let's try again sa question na ginawa ko. So, meron siyang resemblance or halos magkaparehas lang siya dun sa first question, of course. So, if the pattern is illustrated, next is continued. So, ano ba yan? First, find the total number of regular octagon. So, octagon na siya in the 11th figure. And B, find the perimeter of the 24th figure. And C, find the total number of toothpicks used to construct the 13th figure. So, dapat 30th po. 30th. Okay. So, step 1, understand the problem. So, of course, there are 3 questions. And regular octagon are increasing with the pattern. And we must predict the number of regular octagon in the 11th figure. And third, perimeter is a continuous line. So, alam na po natin yan. And fourth, toothpicks made of the figure. So, one regular pectagon or octagon needs exactly 8 toothpicks. So, yung last question natin is 4 lang. So, kailangan natin ngayon is 9. It means magbabago yung question natin. So, devise a plan. So, A, must look for a pattern. And B, must look for a pattern and use a variable. And C, sa question C, we can use look for a pattern and use a variable. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, sa question B, unlike dun sa earlier question natin, hindi na siya draw a picture. So, look for a pattern na agad siya because malaki po yung perimeter nito. Unlike sa square na 4 lang yung perimeter, dito magiging 8 na siya. Kaya mahirap natin siyang i-drawing or hanapin isa-isa. So, we must start looking for a pattern na siya agad. Okay. Sa A. So, sa A, meron tayong first figure is 1. 1 yung octagon natin sa first figure. Sa second figure is 4 din. And sa third figure is 9. And sa fourth figure is 11. So, as you can see, the pattern is yung square. So, same lang siya sa last question natin. Kahit baguhin natin yung figure from square to octagon, so, same pa rin yung pattern. So, 11 squared is 121. So, ang question is, ilan yung regular octagon sa 11 figure? So, ang sagot is 121. So, B. So, what is the perimeter of this figure? Sa A, bibilangin natin siya. Meron tayong 8. Ang perimeter natin yung 8 dahil meron siyang 8 sides and bawat side ay may length na 1. And sa 2 ay meron tayong 26. So, perimeter ng figure 2 is 26. Ang perimeter ng figure 3 is 44. And ang perimeter ng figure 4 ay 62. So, we must find the difference ng mga yan. So, 8 or 26 minus 8 is 18. 4 minus 26 is 18. 62 minus 44 is 18. And 18 minus 62 is 18. So, the pattern needed to be subtracted only once to equalize. So, 18 na siya lahat. So, it means that the pattern have a degree of 1 or 1 degree. So, by using 2 equation and 2 unknowns, we have this equation. F of 2 is 2a plus b is equal to 26. So, the second figure is 26. And the third figure, or f of 3 is equal to 3a plus b is equal to 44. Ayan. So, by using 2 equation and 2 unknowns, we know that a is equal to 18 and b is equal to negative 10. So, the pattern is 18n minus 10. So, the perimeter of 24 or the 24th figure is 18 times 24 minus 10 is equal to 422. So, the perimeter of the 24th figure is 222. Now, C. So, we are asked to know how many toothpicks is used in the 30th figure, if I remember. So, we first list and look for a pattern. So, the figure 1 have 8 toothpicks. Figure 2 have 29. 3 have 62. And 4 have 107 toothpicks. So, by finding the difference, we have 29 minus 8 is 21. 62 minus 29 is 33. 107 minus 62 is 45. And 164 minus 107 is 57. So, hindi pa siya nag-equal. So, pag minusin ulit natin. So, 33 minus 21 is 12. 45 minus 33 is 12, and 57 minus 45 is 12. So the pattern needed to be subtracted twice to equalize. So it means that the pattern have degree of 2. So ayan, may degree na yung 2. So our n is 2. So f of 2 is have the degree of 2. So 2 times 2, or 2 squared is 4, plus 2b plus c is equal to 29. And the third figure have 62, and fourth figure is 107. So by using 3 equation and 3 unknowns, so input that to your calculators. We know that a is equal to 6, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to negative 1. Therefore, the equation is 6 squared plus 3n minus 1 equal to toothpicks, where n is the term number. Hence, the number of toothpicks in the 30th figure is 6 multiplied by 3, or 30 squared, plus 3 times 30 minus 1 is equal to 5,489. So looking back, we have learned that even if we change the polygon to octagon by following the same pattern, the number of regular octagon is similar to the number of 1 by 1 square. Hence, it can be a general equation. So kahit palitan pa natin yan, kahit gawin natin yung dodecagon, or pentagon, or hexagon, so 2n pa din by following the pattern sa illustration. And the perimeter with such unusual shape also have a pattern. So pag yung pinagpatong-patong nating octagon is meron pa rin pattern yung perimeter noon kahit papaano. And 1 degree lang siya. Ibig sabihin, very simple yung pattern ng perimeter niya. And if there exists a pattern, so the difference will be equal if you subtract so consecutive numbers enough times. Ayan. So we have come up with a general formula, 6n squared plus 3n minus 1, to find how many toothpicks aligned with a length of 1 are needed to form the figure. So octagon yung ginamit natin, yung 3 dyan naging 6. So not necessarily same yung magiging equation nila, because sabi ko nga kanina, square needed exactly 4 toothpicks, while octagon or regular octagon needed exactly 8 toothpicks. So magkaiba siya, kaya iba din yung magiging general formula niya. Now, you try. So meron tayong ditong third question, which is find the pattern illustrated next is continued. So ang figure natin dyan is dodecagon, or a polygon with 12 sides. So the question is A, find the number of regular dodecagon in the 15th figure. B, find the perimeter of the 19th figure. And C, find the total number of toothpicks used to construct the 40th figure. So mas mahirap yan sa last 2 question, more challenging. So I await your answers. So meron na akong answer dito. Good luck. And thank you for listening. I am Mark Anthony again. So see you around.